To be or not to be? That famous Shakespeare quote from the play of Hamlet could also have been the mantra of UC Santa Cruz Shakespeare Festival as it came to a shutdown. The local community changed that not to be to a to be by starting a new independent repertory theater, a company founded by co-artistic directors Marco Baratelli and Mike Ryan. The company starts its second season this summer with Much Ado About Nothing, The Liar, and Macbeth. With me in studio is artistic director Mike Ryan with more details on this theater company. Mike, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
This is fantastic. Welcome to the program.
Thanks.
Now, Mike, let's get started though first on your acting career, which started when you were at the ripe old age of 14. Is that right?
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and how did that happen? How did that come about?
I grew up in Oklahoma, and there was a local Shakespeare festival that offered a class during the academic year to high school students, and they made a promise that if you took the class throughout the academic year, they would find a small role for you in the play. And I didn't know two things when I signed up for it. First, that I would be the only boy in the class. And second of all, that there were actually roles for boys in Shakespeare. So I started playing a lot of larger roles really early on in my young acting career.
Your acting career really started with Shakespeare.
It did.
And has that really been your main focus, or that just kind of happened to wind its way?
It was never my intention to sort of become the artistic director of a Shakespeare festival, but my work has largely been classical in nature, so it's not surprising, I suppose.
And speaking of classical, we tend to think of Shakespeare in that old English style, but your company is presenting it a little bit differently. Talk to us about that.
One of the things that I very firmly believe about theater is that we always have to ask why we're doing this play now and for this particular audience, which means that we need to look at plays through a 21st century lens. So I'm not so into museum Shakespeare with the ruffs and pumpkin pants and sort of old ways of speaking. We always keep Shakespeare's language intact, so we don't change his language.
Okay.
But we do often play with the time period of the plays. We play with gender. One of the things that's very important to me is gender parity. So our acting company is composed of half men and half women.
Well, but wait a minute. Not all of the roles are but are the roles equally men and women? Is it mixed up?
No, in fact, Shakespeare wrote most of his. He was writing for an entirely male acting company, so even his female roles were played by boys.
Wow.
So we changed the gender of some of the characters to make the stories a little bit more inclusive and to reflect a little more honestly where we'd like to see the 21st century go in terms of power structure and things like that.
Now, all of your actors, are they seasoned actors in the Shakespeare Festival?
We employ a mix of actors. Yes. We employ a number of union actors, Actors Equity Association folks who are very seasoned and very experienced. We hire some non-equity actors who are not union members, but also in many cases have a lot of experience that just never joined the union. Yeah. And then we have a small intern company, who are usually students who are in college, looking for the next step in their professional career.
I'm glad you mentioned students, because you said that you've been involved with queer theater.
Yes, in fact, I taught queer theater at UC Santa Cruz when I was there.
Okay, and was that also with a Shakespearean focus?
Not with a Shakespearean focus, no, more queer theater in general.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that still happening by chance?
They're pretty good about offering a lot of classes that focus on diversity, that satisfy diversity requirements at the university there.
Well, it's good to know that this equity will be happening, because that's a lot more inclusive and the audience will enjoy that. And you co-founded this. You had a vested interest of sorts?
Well, I cut my teeth at this festival. I came there when I was 25 years old, back in 1997. And have acted there most years ever since, from that first year until the time that the festival was closed. And so when the time came to reboot the festival, if you will, and ask the community to support it in a different incarnation, I was one of the leaders of that movement, if you will.
And I'm sure that the whole community really appreciates that. Okay, Mike, thank you for joining us and telling us about the second season of the Santa Cruz Shakespeare Festival. You'll want to catch Much Ado About Nothing on July 3rd, followed by The Liar on July 14th, and Macbeth on August 7th. For information, point your web browsers to santacruzshakespeare.org. Again, Mike, thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to the festival coming up.
Thank you.
You bet. So much for this edition of Outlook Video. To see our videos on the internet, point your web browser to your YouTube channel at youtube.com/OutlookVideo and click on the subscribe button for notification of more videos from us.
And you can friend us on Facebook at facebook.com/OutlookVideo. Outlook Video is made possible by viewers like you and our dedicated volunteers behind the camera. We close with some clips from Oakland Pride 2014 on behalf of all of us at Outlook Video. Thank you for watching, and please join us again next month.
Well, it's our 5th year, our 5th anniversary. We wanted to do something more, something a little better, and to really kick it up a notch. And so we decided on a parade. We had a community survey that went out last year, and overwhelmingly people said, we want a parade, we want a parade. So we worked with the City of Oakland, we worked with Oakland Mayor Gene Kwan's office, and Councilmember Rebecca Kaplan's office, and we were able to pull off a parade down Broadway.
I love it. I love it. I'm so excited to be one of the first ever Pride Grand Marshals. I think it's amazing. I'm one of the founders of Oakland Pride, and I am just so, there are no words. But I'm just so happy to see so many people. Isn't this beautiful?